On this week's episode of the Get Shit Done podcast, we're in that limbo week between Christmas and New Year's, but we're thinking ahead to 2025 and how we can embrace the new year with simplicity and productivity moving forward.
Hey, I'm Brianne McKenzie. I'm a mom of 4 little kids, teacher of students with special needs, and a health and productivity buff. And this is the Get Shit Done podcast, where I help busy moms learn to get shit done in their lives through everyday, tangible productivity tips and tricks that'll be sure to help you get shit done. Whether you're a busy working mom inside or outside the home, I'll share my how-tos and my step-by-step strategies you need to prioritize what's important in your life and create the energy you need to follow through. Now, grab your earbuds and join me for a mom chat while you're doing the dishes, folding the laundry, or exercising with your kids. And let's get shit done together.
Well, hello there and welcome to the Get Shit Done podcast this week. We are in that, void between Christmas and New Year's, but I'm thinking ahead to 2025 because I know that's where our brains go as soon as Christmas is done. But I'm so excited to, head into this new year with simplicity, but productivity. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be easy. That was my motto for Christmas this year, and it was really helpful. So I'm going to carry that into the new year and chat with you how we can tackle 2025 like a boss and really just lean into the things that work well for us and become simpler with the things we need to do and do them well. Now, right away, I'm going to share with you that if you need help with this, I do too, girl. That's why I am starting my free Get Shit Done challenge on January 6th, the first week that I'm back to work, back to school. I know I need that kickstart and need that accountability. So I'm going to have a free Get Shit Done challenge to help us all through that. It's 5 days. It's little tips and tricks you can do over those 5 days to kind of help you figure out your own way of getting shit done and really implementing that. And then if you want to have that next layer of accountability, my paid version of the Get Shit Done challenge offers you podcasts, actually, in addition to that other stuff. So you can have your own podcasts and different things that are going to help through that challenge. So anyway, go take a look, see what you like, see if it's something you feel like would be helpful for you. And you can find that in the show notes here or at the link in my bio on Instagram. Okay, so when you're heading into, and embrace things in the new year, the biggest thing we can do together is just take a minute to reflect on last year. See what kind of feelings come up. If you feel like overwhelm comes up, we're just going to sit with that for a minute and look at why. What are those areas in your life that made you feel overwhelmed? And maybe we want to leave that in 2024. Reflection is the key piece that's going to help us to actually grow and move forward, because then we won't repeat the same things over and over again. But it's really important to, figure out what those things are. So taking a minute to just reflect on the past and think about where you want to go and where you want to pivot is going to be important. And this doesn't have to be like fancy. This is just you sitting alone doing this in your head when you got 5 minutes sipping a cup of tea or something. One thing I did last year that I rocked at and I really want to continue for next year is thinking about what's something I can do now that, even though I could do in the future, would help alleviate some of that stress in the future. So, I always got things done. I'm thinking specifically around the holidays this year. I would do all my shopping. I'd be doing the wrapping the last minute. I would make the time during the holidays to get that stuff done, but it was always a weight and a burden on my shoulders. I did have other times I could have tackled that. So this year going into it, I said to myself, what's something I can do today to get it done and off the list, even if I have time later? So that was like wrapping and shopping and getting things done for the holidays. I got that done way earlier because it was something I could do today. And so I want to take that into 2025 with me. And those are the types of reflective pieces that I want to share today. And I want you to know that the Get Shit Done Challenge will help us kind of move in that direction for 2025. So again, if you want to join the challenge, that will help. But having these little bits of time to kind of look back and see what was good, maybe not so good, and then which direction we want to go is going to be super helpful. So we have that like anticipation of the new year and that you're ready for that fresh start, right? And it's really enticing to maybe do goals or things like that. And in the past, I just kind of think more about things I want for my life rather than like, I'm going to achieve this goal by this time. And I think that's why a lot of people fizzle out by February, because it's overwhelming. Then all the winter stuff kind of comes at you, and then you just put that by the wayside. But we're thinking more about like lifestyle, systematic routine changes in our lives that we can do long term. But if we're going against the grain with those things, then that's going to make it feel real hard to continue on with it. So creating a system that's yours, some routines that are yours, that are personalized to you with your way, is going to be the thing that really helps you to stay consistent over time, because you're not going against the grain. You're just leaning into what works. And sometimes you just need some like pointers in the right direction to help us to figure out what those are. And that's my job. That's what I do for moms. I really do just help them with some questions about like, and what would you do in this situation? And how does this work for your family? And how do you guys react when we do this? And when change happens and when you're sick and all of those things. But that's what we do in the challenge. But when you find a way for yourself to kind of a system to create this fresh start, this new feeling for you, it'll help you move past the overwhelm stage, because a lot of times we have this new thing, we have the plan, we get started on it, and then the overwhelm kicks in when something doesn't go our way, and then we let it go. And that's not what this is about. We're teaching ourselves a way that we can kind of go through the new year with systems and routines that really just help us to live our life the best way we can with consistency over time and flexibility, because we know that's what we need as busy moms. So when we're thinking about how to kind of implement some of these changes in our lives going forward, we want, again, I've mentioned this before, but think about what works for our family and start there. So you're going to want to think about like, okay, so we need something that's important to our family is a good bedtime, because then we can make good decisions the next day. So maybe we start with a bedtime routine for everyone, but you're not going to like research all the things and think about what you could implement. You're going to look at what your family already does and just kind of start with that. So do your kids, are they used to watching a show before bed? Okay, so you're going to work that into it. Maybe it's not something you want. Maybe you want to change it, but slowly think about the changes rather than upheaving everybody's, life and trying to get them to go against the grain. We lean into the things that work and make changes slowly over time. And that applies to so many areas of our life. But going forward in 2025, I want you to really think about what are those bigger foundational routines and systems that help kind of like hinge on everything else. And those are the things we're going to kind of think about. So I think that having some small little tweaks to things that are already in place is going to be the easiest way to move forward in 2025, so that we're not like, upheaving everything. Because we might be ready for that, but not everyone in our family. And then you're going to get the kind of kickback. But that's kind of how we work on this over in the challenge. So it's a simple system. You're going to create a simple system for yourself that works for you, that helps you to kind of wrap your mind around the day, or your own get your shit together system. And then it helps you to think about the bigger picture things that you might want to work on as a family. But it doesn't have to be like a big project. You know what I mean? It's just little baby steps over time. And we kind of identify that, and then we talk through the steps on how to kind of implement that. So my vision for 2025, my kind of like thoughts are work smarter, not harder, and simplify. Those are the things that like I really want to embrace. I want like a slower pace of life. I want my kids to be able to be bored and be happy and be creative. I want our family to work together to run our house. I want everybody to, not feel like we have to be busy all the time, and that we don't have to have these grand plans, because we can get ourselves into that so easily. So that's my feeling going into 2025. And I want our systems and routines to reflect that. And that also means that I have to not micromanage and like step back a bit and be more flexible. And knowing that about myself, knowing that that's not my strength, I make sure that I kind of keep that mantra in my head because that's my thing. But knowing that going into this challenge, I feel like I can embrace it and understand that that's what I want the end results to feel like when I think of the end of 2025. So how does that reflect in some of our routines and systems? And a lot of it is like allowing the kids to kind of self-direct, which is challenging for a mom who wants to micromanage and be on top of everything. But that's really how they build skills too. So that's kind of my mindset and how I'm thinking about creating and getting shit done over the week of the challenge and in 2025. So if you want to kind of look at that when you're reflecting and think how you want to feel, we'll embrace that in the challenge. And the cool thing about it is that everybody's different. Nobody's systems or routines are going to be the same because everybody's different and every family is different and everyone's needs are different. And I love to brainstorm that. You might have some neurodivergence in your family, or you may have, anxiety or anything like that like impacts all of these things. And I love brainstorming that together, but I also feel like it's super helpful to be able to have a system that might work for your family. And then you pivot, you pause and pivot and move on when it's needed. So again, we get into all of that in the challenge. So if you're ready to ditch the chaos and you're ready to kickstart this new year, just go to the show notes here, join the challenge for free. And if you want those add-ons, you can add in the monthly membership to the Moms Get Shit Done Club. I think we're at like $5.99 a month, and you get the challenge for free. The challenge with that is, in addition, a bunch of podcasts and different accountability support with me. But go look at it. See if this is something you want to kind of have in your calendar to help you to move forward. And then you get these things also in your email so that you can use them when it works best for you. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely in limbo kind of week here between Christmas and New Year's, and we can really look forward to a lovely new year in 2025. Take care.
Well, that's it for me today. I'm likely needed for some mom duties right about now. Thanks so much for joining me for a chat, and let's do it again soon. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Brianne_McKenzie123 for more tips and tricks on how to get shit done.